Hi everybody, this is Rhys Barber from Audiology Associates. Thank you very much for watching our ear wax removal video today. This is probably one of the toughest wax removals I've done in a long time. It's certainly up there in the top 5 anyway. This lovely lady came through feeling really blocked up in both sides. I'd used drops, Q-tips, everything to try and get this wax out, and effectively has actually impacted it against the eardrum on both sides. So this is quite a severely impacted earwax. It's quite unusual to get it this hardened up down here. So what you can see is we've got this really hard layer of wax covering the eardrum, attached to all canal walls all the way around the outside, which is why this patient was feeling really blocked up here. So we've got the fine end in. We're just probing this wax, looking for any looser sections that we can exploit and try and bring forward, which is what you can see us doing here to the top right corner. We're drawing this wax down from the top right to the bottom left, and also drawing it forwards towards us to try and pull this wax and fold it away from the eardrum. Now, you've always got to be careful when you're much deeper in the canal like this. It's certainly against the eardrum as we are here with this wax, because you don't want to push too hard into it, because you can actually damage the eardrum behind. And it's also very sensitive in this part of the ear canal as well. So you've got to be careful with the patient and make sure they're doing okay whilst you're doing this kind of procedure. So you can see we're just trying to loosen as much of this up as I possibly can. But it's moving slightly, it's folding a little bit, but it's also popping straight back into place again because it's so hardened up. And I want you to think of it like strata, like layers here. So we've got one layer that's been impacted, and another layer's got on top that's been impacted. So you've got kind of 2 or 3 layers of this stuff all folded into one another. And then you've got this kind of wax just wants to return back to its normal position. So I've popped a little bit of olive oil in here now. 2 reasons for this. First of all, it's going to help to loosen this a little bit. Although the patient had been using some drops before they came along, this is going to help to loosen it up and break it down a little bit. And the other thing it's going to do, it's going to help me get a good grip on the wax as well. Because when you're using the fine end like this, it's very difficult to get a good solid grip on the wax, especially when it's hardened up, because you can't just get that kind of slight embedding in, which gives you a really good grip there. So you can see we're just loosening this top section here, trying to fold this down, but you can see as soon as I fold it away, it's just popping straight back in. So what we're going to do now is we're going to switch to the standard size Zollner tube, so the bigger of the tubes that we use. Because the ear canal is quite narrow, we're going to have to drop back slightly, which unfortunately is putting us really close to the cilia, which is where all the olive oil is coated. So you'll see this slight blurring here every so often around the edge of the screen, and that's just where the olive oil just coats it. The reason I'm using the standard size Zollner tube, the bigger of the tubes that we use, then what we're going to do is hold on to this wax, and it's going to allow us a much better suction grip. So it's going to help us to draw this wax down the canal, because we want to get it away from this eardrum, because this is what's been causing the patient some discomfort and this hearing loss going on there. So you can see we've broken a nice big chunk away. That piece we were working on with the top right there, you can see with this bigger tube now, bigger suction, we're able to hold on to it and draw that away. So what I'm going to do now is still work on that same corner, but see if we can keep drawing this wax down and away from this eardrum. You can see this kind of folding motion we're using, which is drawing it down but also forwards towards the entrance of the canal here. It also helps some of the olive oil to just work behind it as well, just to sort of unstick it, if you like, from around the edges. There we are. Now you can see the top section. Now we've broken that one section away, you get a lot more movement to the wax. We're able to kind of just very gently wiggle it back and forth just to try and take this away. And we're still folding here. If I can break another big piece away, it's going to give us even more movement again, because this is so tightly compacted down at the base of this canal. This is actually one of the few wax removals where I've started doing this and think, I don't know whether I'm going to get all this out, because it's just so hardened up down there. So we've managed to roll this forwards just slightly. You can see we've got a big chunk there coming away. There we go. Nice big piece came away from the top there. That's going to really help us in a second, because it means now we've got a bit more room at the top. We can start freeing this wax up a little bit more. And don't forget, these sides where they're stuck to the canal walls, those are the bits that's holding all of this in. You can see that layer at the bottom that's just come away slightly, but because it's very close to the drum, I can't lift it as I normally would. It's going to push it against the drum. So we're just trying to fold a bit more of this top section. You can see a little piece moving there. There we are. You can just see that loose piece there to the top left-hand corner. There we go, it's starting to come away. Getting a little bit of movement there. Painstaking procedure, this one, because we just had to, it's all about slow and small movements. And you can, there we go, now we're starting to see this roll forward. See it coming away, rolling down the canal now, away from that eardrum. There we are, you can actually see the back end of it. Sometimes when you roll it, you'll get the newest pieces exposed. It's sometimes a little bit easier to get a grip on. There we go. You can see it just broke away. But now we can just see the top of the eardrum now. So we know we've got this front section here away from the drum. Let's see if we can get a good grip here and lift this up. There we go, it's starting, you can see it just starting to move forwards. We get another glimpse of the eardrum there. Nice big plug came away there. You can see just how dry this material is. It's kind of dry and almost flaky, like the cornflakes, those kind of things. So you get this kind of, these hard layers almost there. There we go, just taking that next section. Unfortunately, we took that whole section away. When you take a look behind it, we've got another impacted layer behind the first one. So another layer that's sitting right on top of the eardrum, which is even drier than the first one we took out. So this is going to be a tough one to get away. And it is really impacted. You can see it's red, it's irritated down there where this has just been causing a few problems. Yeah, it's just so solid. That we're kind of struggling. Now, this was the point where I thought, I really don't know if this is going to come away. You know, we may have to refer on to get this patient looked at by maybe the ear, nose and throat consultant. But we're going to have a little go. Patient was happy for me to try. So we've just introduced a little bit more olive oil in here. And you can see when that first piece, the bit that was laid on the bottom, flicked off, you can just see a little bit of the eardrum. So we've detached top and bottom. We've just got left and right now holding this in. So I'm very gently peeling away from this left side. You can just snapped off. So let's go in again. Let's see if we can just probe a slightly different spot. Now we've loosened up this bottom section here. If we can draw this up and out, it's going to pull forwards. Oh, there was a little bit of movement there, but it is solidly stuck. Very gently. This particular part here, we have to fold off the top left corner. It's really sensitive, this part of the ear here. So the patient did really, really well, bless them. This would feel like a mild pinch or a mild scratching sensation coming away from this particular portion of the ear canal. But we've broken that bit away from the top. Now we're going to aim for this top right. We're going to see if we can draw it around the corner and down. I'm just looking for anywhere we can get a good grip on this. You can see, even with a light touch, it's flexing to the eardrum behind as well. So we're teeth in. We're really restricted in the movement that we can make. But here we are. We're just pulling now, trying to tease off that left corner. Now, what happens sometimes, you'll see me going in and out this ear canal quite a bit. We've got the standard size tube on here now. That's because the fine end was blocking so much with these tiny pieces. We can see we've got a good grip. We hear the difference in the suction as well, which is going to help. We've got a good grip there. It's just starting to move forwards. It's coming. It's nearly there. It's just stuck to that right-hand side. Patient just moved a little bit then. So we're going to go back in now, see if we can get a good grip on this section. Let's see if we can bring this forward. There we are. We can see that the wax moving underneath. There we go. There we are. So that's come away. We've managed to sneak it up and get it around that corner now and bring this out. It actually got stuck in the outer part of the ear canal. It wasn't going anyway. It was really jammed in here. So I'm just going to try and grab it with the crocodile forceps here. There we are, just to draw this forwards. Unfortunately, the canal is just so narrow that the jaws of the forceps couldn't quite get around it. So Jobson horn comes in to save the day again on the outside here. So we just try to drop this down, bring this forwards, get this hard lump out. This patient was so relieved to get this out. This was causing her so many problems, bless her. She was having a lot of difficulty with this, and it was really uncomfortable for her as well down there. You can see there's a little bit left. We managed to break the first bit away. We've got it away from the drum now. You'll see just how pink and aggravated that eardrum looks as well. So we'll just bring this last little piece out here. There we are. Out that comes. If we take a look behind that then there's one more little piece to come away. So as we were taking this, it was that brittle. We said it was like a little cornflake. It was breaking apart as we were taking out the canal. And there you go. Look at that redness and that irritation all around there. You can actually see the eardrum there. A little bit of swelling at the top of the drum. It almost looks like a tiny little blister as well there, just at the top left corner. So you can see just how uncomfortable this would have been for this poor patient. Yeah, I did make this patient promise me that when they go home, they would snap every single Q-tip they owned in the house and throw them away because it caused so many problems. When we look at the other side, it is exactly the same. Really, really deep, really impacted. But the saving grace here, it looks just a little bit looser, okay, on the outside edge here. And when we take a look up in a second, you'll see that we've got this long protrusion of wax that sticks out on the attic portion of the canal as well. So you can see I've got the standard size ulnar tube in here, just probing that little bit of wax. When we pan back there, can you see that darker set of, darker slope of wax here at the top? So we've got the fine end on here. We're going to pull that down. I'm hoping by pulling that down, it's going to release the top section of this wax so we can get this out here. There we are. It's just dropping the wax down. There we go. So we've got that top section away. You can see it was quite a long, flat little plate there. There we go. You can see it very smooth on the underside. So obviously it's been resting against the skin. Unfortunately, it didn't really pull that out at the top there. So we're just going to aim with the fine end up here. But it is loose. You can see there was that little bit of movement there. So let's see if we can pop the standard size ulnar tube on here. Just pop the ulnar on and see if this will just free up this bit of wax. You can see little bits moving towards us there. We're just, sorry, I'm cocking my head to try and see around the ulnar tube. But you can just bring this forwards. There you go. That top section's come away. Same as before. If we can break little bits off, it gives us more maneuverability. It gives us more room in here. Aim for this left side now, see if we can free that up. There we go. Ooh, a little bit of movement there, a little bit of dry skin getting lifted up there into the entrance of the ulnar tube. Let's lift from the base now. Let's see if we can draw this up. There we go. Now I'm getting a little glimpse of the eardrum to the right side, little glimpse to the left. This central section now is starting to really loosen up. Let's see if we can get it. There we go. You can see it collapsing down into the suction. We've cleared this right side, now, but we've got to negotiate getting this wax from this left side around this corner now and out. So we just get a good grip here. Let's see. There we are. We're starting to see some movement. It's on the move. There we go. Out that bottom bit pops. We have to get this change position. I'll get a grip on that bottom section. We're more likely to get a hold of it. There we go. Hopefully it's going to slide everything out. Just broke away. Let's go back to the top, loosen it from that top section, bring it around the corner. We don't really want it to snap because we don't want to leave anything behind. And here we go. There it is. So yeah, quite a big plug. Luckily, it wasn't quite as impacted as the other side, thank goodness. You'll see little dots there. Much healthier looking eardrum. You can see little dots of oil there at the base as well. Patient so relieved to get that out. That was an absolute nightmare to try and get out. It was such a difficult extraction. Well, I really didn't think we were going to do it. I really thought we were going to have to refer this on. But as always, we managed to get there in the end, guys, with a bit of perseverance. So you can see we've got 3 centimeters, which is 1.25 inches. So between both ears, quite a bit came out. But yeah, certainly one of the toughest ones I've ever done. Certainly in my top 5 tough ones anyway. That might be an idea for a video at some point. But as always, guys, take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. I shall see you again on Wednesday. And yeah, have a good couple of days.